Hi, Jake. All right, I'm going to do your 15-minute spiritual healing now. So, goals are any blocks which prevent or slow my development, any guides and information on guides which could assist me, any clear signals on the best way forward. You shared some information about your 2016 experience. So we're going to do some work to assist with getting you to where you're wanting to go. So I'm just going to relax here and then connect with you. And we'll see what Spirit has to share, okay? I want to reconnect with. So I'm entering your spiritual atmosphere. I instantly hear a doorway opening. I can't see the door, although at the same time I can, but it's so hidden in shadow. I can absolutely hear it. It was interesting because in the moment that I enter your spiritual atmosphere, I feel like everything is in order and in place. Like the red colors jars are on this shelf, the green jars are on this shelf. Everything is organized and in place as it's meant to be. And it's cool the way the first image was, because it kind of reminded me of like an old witch's house or something, with like a really cool cupboard, and all of the potion ingredients were just perfectly sorted by color, size, everything. It felt really good. That came and went instantly like that. And then I enter into like a rounded space, a spherical space, and I just can hear a door open and close. And there's kind of a creaky hinge on it, so I can hear it all right. It's wooden. There's a lot of question marks that I have when I go towards this door. It's open for me, but it has a lot of spiritual question marks associated with it. And there's not really a fear that I experience at all with this. It's just a curiosity. There's a heavier, dense energy that I experience as I'm examining being at the door. Shall I go to the other side of the door? Shall I stay here? I'm examining the knob on the door itself. Is kind of like an antique knob, but it's not rusted. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's dark. It's got a dark color to it just because of the metal or whatever is used, but it's got an antiqueness to it. It really feels like old wisdom. I mean, this doorway is open a crack here. I mean, I could slip. It's enough that I could go slip through the crack, of the door. I don't have to open it all the way. It's interesting because you're not inspired to just, let's open it up and see what's inside. It's more, I just want to examine the door first. I want to examine what this feels like. I want to ask some questions. I want to get a feel before I start going to the other side of this door. But I'm telling you, there's some old school, like super awesome soul wisdom on the other side of this door, and it's drawing you towards it. Because, super concise, putting everything in place and organization, and it's just, the structure is just, it's coded, it's labeled, it's alphabetical. But this here is different than this here. It's just that cupboard. We know what's going on with that cupboard. This door, the curiosity is really exciting, and it's unknown, and there's no fear associated with it, and it's just drawing me towards it. I want to know more about this spiritual wisdom about your soul, and it's pretty cool. We're talking right now, my spirit guides. There's questions about, what if you discovered this about your soul, and now you're a human being? You have to ask yourself questions about your role as a human being. There's something about what is on the other side of this door is going to be you're going to be really impressed to discover it. It's really something special that your soul has accomplished in some other lifetime, or some really special wisdom about your soul. And it's going to make you feel differently about yourself as a human being in this present moment, because it is got a magical flair to it. I mean, it's got like a, I don't know, it's like you were able to cure diseases or something. I don't, it's positive. It's really positive. It's really beautiful. And it's kind of mystical is the way it feels to me. But yet I cannot go in there. I cannot go to the other side of the door. I'm trying. The more curiosity, the more I desire, the more I long for this dark. It was dark all along, right? And it's starting to, I can see the door now. I can see the doorknob now. I can see there's a shadow. I don't know what's on the other side of the door. But now the room is starting to, the dark is starting to fade out, and I'm actually able to make out this wooden floor, the wooden wall. It's like an old school house, like an old school cottage in the woods or something. You're getting higher clarity. I mean, what you really want is, and it's about really high-powered spiritual clarity and self-awareness about your soul. Because we can look at this all day long, but we already know this. We already know the alphabetical order of the potions and this and that. Everything is, we get it. It's organized. There's nothing else to find here. It's already there, all in place for us. There's something about you and this other spiritual side of things that's really important. And it's becoming more and more part of the focus than the organized cupboard. There's still, I mean, there's still a sensation of, you're the puzzle with all the pieces together. And even this spiritual exploration does not dislocate any of the puzzle pieces. It's actually adding to the, we have the awesome potions cupboard, and now we're just adding to the experience of life. And it's really exciting and it's fun. Still at the doorway. They're allowing me to open it further. There is a very dim light in there, and it looks like a cave wall. Like, it literally is the size of, you could store your jars of, like canning. People that back in the day, people have a garden and they want to can tomatoes or whatever. It's like, it's kind of like cave walls is what it looks like, but it's not particularly deep. It would be like there's shelving on the sides here too. But I can definitely distinctly see what is rock that makes up this wall, and it feels like a little pantry for canning and stuff. And it's, the temperature in here is different than the rest of the home. It's kind of cooler. There is a unsuspecting staircase here. We're entering into this space, and we're actually going down a staircase going down. You have a book of like spells or something? You're male. You're a male gender. It's kind of an old textbook kind of reading, and you're kind of eating a celery stick or something at the same time. As you're, okay, can you chew bubble gum and go down the stairs? Yes, you can. You can chew on a celery stick, read a book, and go down these odd stairs without tripping and falling. You can do this. You're totally immersed. I mean, you are eating like a celery stick, and you're totally immersed in the text itself. You're digesting lots and lots of wisdom, and while simultaneously you're extremely observant or self-aware, or you just know where your feet need to go without having to think about them. You can feel your way while simultaneously digesting lots of wisdom while simultaneously eating. I mean, you're really good at this. But the thing is, you don't have a clue where you're going. I'm shocked by that because it appears that you do know where you're going. But you don't have a clue what's down these stairs. Do you even know why you're eating a celery stick or why you're reading that book? Some part of you definitely does. You chose to eat. You were hungry. You ate the celery stick. You actually picked up this book. It feels like something you've been reading for a long time and you're just rereading it. But the reality is you've not been in this closet ever before, and you've never walked down these stairs. You're just walking down them as though you've been walking down them thousands and thousands of times. But the reality is you don't have a freaking clue. I'm just astonished by that. Because you act like you know where you're going. And it seems to come so naturally for you. Even if you don't know where you're going, you're really good at making out like you do. I'm wondering if the stairs kind of go around in a circle like that. And there's a landing down here and it's kind of a dirt space. You're not bothered by whether the light is on or off. You don't care. I mean, you're like the type of guy that can find your way in the dark. I'm just really impressed by just how are you so together? I mean, you're amazing. You're feeling, you seem to know there's a table here, you're setting the book down. I mean, everything is completely in the dark. You seem to know what this place is. So the best way I could define this is you're a human being. You live a lifetime. You don't have any memory of who you were in other lifetimes. You live this lifetime and you just go with the flow of the life, right? But some part of your soul, it has some dynamic component, some reflection that it is, and it's instinctive, and it instinctively draws you to doing things. This metaphorically represents to me what is like your soul. I mean, your soul is leading the way here. Your soul is helping each foot go down these stairs. Even if your humanness doesn't have a clue, your soul has a clue. And so you're just allowing your soul to guide you, and your soul is taking you down the stairs. Your soul already knows this place. It's wanted you to come back to this place for a long time. That's why you're there. Your humanness may not recognize it, but your soul absolutely recognizes it. And because your soul recognizes it, it seems even familiar to your humanness, and you continue to just go with the flow of things. There's no hesitation from the human side of you, and you even act like you know. I mean, the human side of you even acts like you know. I'm saying, when are you going to turn the lights on? When are you going to start acknowledging that you know something? You're wanting, so I'm trying to get something from guys. I'm trying to gather more information from other, all I can do is stay in this room with you and see what happens next. Again, I'm asking you, when are you going to turn the lights on? When are you going to choose to actually see with your human eyes that you decided to open that door? You actually walked into that closet right there. The mystery door, the spiritual mystery door. You actually walked down the stairs. You were reading the book as well, and you seem to know your footing. When are you going to actually acknowledge that you know something? And you're down here and the lights are still out. You have no fears at all. You're not worried about the lights being on or off. It could be dark in here, and it's almost preferable. Only you can choose to turn the lights on. I can't do it for you. I'm asking, what are you looking for? Why are you down here? So we're going to take the celery stick away. We're going to take the book away. I want it to just be you, and I want you to look at what you have accomplished so far, because this is a huge deal. And you need to start acknowledging it. not just an instinctive thing, but it needs to be more of a, I acknowledge there's something more to this, and I have an odd instinctive know-how about it. You don't seem, I mean, there's no real response to this from you. Again, it's just sort of the, it is what it is, kind of. I mean, I don't feel like turning the lights on right now. I just kind of wanted to see what was down here and see what would happen. It's like, but how are you going to see anything without illumination? Are you going to actually know anything? I mean, I don't even know what's in this room because the lights aren't on. There's something to, you need some illumination here. Where do we start? I mean, my spirit guides are saying, well, where do we start with you? What is it that you would like to know? Because there's a lot of things that we could tell you that would give you the illumination that you need. I mean, I'm telling you, your soul, it's like, you got a big secret in your soul, and it's like you're putting on the day-to-day human face and human facade, but the soul is something big deal. And there's a lot here buried in your soul lives. I mean, I can feel it. It's like you're like the awesome Pandora box, and you don't want to turn the lights on to that yet. I'm waiting. They're showing me a scene of you, and you're picking a red flower, and you're kind of there's a grassy area, and you're kind of laying on your sides, and then you pick this flower, and you're smelling it and kind of looking around. It's a miniature garden, but it's not really. It's just a natural space. It wasn't like human beings came, planted seeds, made it landscaped. It just happens to look like this. There's a little tree over here. There's some bushes. There's some just wild red flowers. The grass isn't particularly long. There aren't a lot of weeds, though. Something manicured about it. But it just feels like it's your secret garden. You don't really know what else to do right now. I mean, that's what you're sharing with me. It's just you here, and you're it's almost like, what do you do next? I mean, I like it this way. I like being in my garden. I like picking the red flower and smelling it. It's just you here. I like it like this. I feel peaceful with it like this. I don't need to have anything more than this. This satisfies me. And now again, you show me that is the way you feel as you stand down here in the dark in this room. So there's a pause. I'm just saying, you're telling yourself this is peaceful and satisfying, but yet your actions are speaking louder than your words, because you clearly are wanting more than this, but you're still choosing to just feel like you're just a humble guy. You're just, this is just the way that I am, and I kind of like it like this. I don't have to have the wow blowout moment where everything is in the aha experience. I'm actually just kind of satisfied with the way life is, and things will just reveal themselves when they're meant to. But there's an odd part of your heart that it wants a little bit more of the flavor. It's like I'm eating the salsa, but I'm not tasting the spice. But you know what? I kind of just like it like this anyway. This is fine. But some part of you also is kind of like, I really would maybe like to try some of the spice every now and then. But you aren't crossing that line, and no part of you really, you have to decide what this means to you. All I can do is follow how your spirit guides me through the images, and I'll just tell you the way you feel in each of these scenes. These are the scenes that you need in order to comprehend what it is you are looking for deep down in your heart. It's going to speak something to you, and only you're going to know. And it's energy wisdom, because I've been following you along this whole way, trying to create fluctuations of energy in order to understand. And this is where we are at now. This is it. This is the end of what I can share with you. I can't share anymore with you. I'm really curious to find out what you think about this. Because you are more extraordinary. Like if anybody met you, I mean, it seems like you would be a really tidy together person and really with the flow of things, but you have a deep spiritual side that's kind of, maybe you just, I mean, you don't really bring it. It just doesn't feel like it's a loud part of you, although it's an extremely loud part of you, because your soul is undeniable. I mean, and so how do you blend, like, where do you go with this? I mean, what happens next from here? You're a human being. Everything feels like it's in the flow. You feel like you're the puzzle with all the pieces together, but there's something more to all of this, and it's a super big deal. I mean, you have a really extraordinary soul. When you discover how extraordinary your soul is, what does that mean now? Like, what do you do with that? Maybe you don't need to do anything with that. And that also talks very loudly about really old souls are that way too. They don't really feel like they don't have to be number one. They don't have to be Mr. Awesome. But something about your soul is you need to know how awesome you are. Because you kind of are, there's a bigger deal buried beneath the surface of you. I think you know that. Can't tell you anything else. All right, I better call that a video. That was really, it was awesome for me to experience that. Thank you. And for those of you watching, if you're interested in experiencing psychic wisdom or spiritual healing with me, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.